Have you ever put makeup on a guy before?
Yeah, I did once before. It was the first time I'd actually put makeup on a guy. Before that, I'd only ever done it on myself. And the makeup artist, she emailed me the night before, and I'd been watching her videos for a while. And she was, this really beautiful woman. She was really pretty and very famous. She worked on Vogue and done like Vogue Italia. She'd worked with all these big models. And I just finished watching one of her videos, and I saw this inbox, and it said LisaEldridge.com. I was like, what? And I thought, oh, spam. I opened it up. Hi Claire, I've been watching your videos for a while, and I was wondering, would you want to help me out on a fashion shoot tomorrow? She's like, oh, at that bit I was just like, no, I'm dreaming. And at first I was really excited, and then when the morning came, I was just thinking, am I going to be good enough? Got there, and I saw a whole load of dancers, and they're all in their underwear. I'm like, oh, they must be putting on an outfit afterwards. And then I see this guy just drop this robe, and he's just there in his black boxers, and I was like, oh. And then she goes, cover the whole thing in paint, and I was like, no, and she's like everywhere, including inside the legs, under the arms, back of the neck, and on there I'm just like, not me. But it was all right, once you saw everyone else, and they're like, no, this is business, just get on with it. It's like, okay, just don't think about this.
Well, I'm sorry, there's no underwear today. You've got like 3 other channels currently at the moment. One is focusing on your artwork, sort of drawing, painting, etc. And the other concentrates on your singing and your songwriting.
Yeah.
Probably the most popular is your makeup tutorials.
Yeah.
Now, artistically, you're obviously very diverse. Someone described you a genius once. But where does the love lie, Claire? Out of the 3, which one would you say is where your heart is the most?
Definitely music. I love... Makeup is close, it's very close, but makeup wasn't there from the beginning, so makeup's kind of... It's a second love. It'll always be part of my life, but music will always come first. Even if I can't follow music professionally, I have to have it. If I can't have music, I can't function. Even in my videos, I have to have music on when I'm working. It's what gives me the most inspiration, listening to sounds. And
Well, we'll get on to music like later on in the interview. But obviously, because your makeup, a lot of people who follow your makeup are going to be looking at this. How did you kind of fall into all this makeup tutorial stuff? Was it by accident, or was it intentional? Or?
It was by accident, really.
What happened?
I started out with a singing channel. It was when I was at school, and it was extremely stressful. And again, music was just a way for me to just not be stressed, and I'd always liked singing. And I saw people doing song covers on YouTube, and I thought, oh, that looks really fun. And I seen people who'd done that and then gone on to having quite a big career because they'd, someone had seen them and said that person's good and give them a recording contract, or sometimes with the YouTube, they'd offered them partnership, and it was enough for them to be able to support themselves. And I thought, well, no harm. So I started doing singing covers. And then one day I had this kind of extreme makeup look on it. I think it was like a purple look, and I had things going in and out of my eyes and stuff. And someone asked, how did you do that? And so I uploaded a makeup tutorial, but quite a few guys followed me, and I had a few guys that were saying, I didn't subscribe for this. And so I thought, okay, just set up another channel, it's not a big deal. And then that channel just took off, and the music kind of got pushed back a little bit, but it's still there.
Why do you think these makeup tutorial channels are so popular on YouTube? Because they're massive, aren't they? They have such huge followings. What is it that, is there a particular age range? Or is,
there is an age range.
There is an age range?
Yeah, to a degree. When when they first started coming out, it was mainly teenagers. No one over 40, really, not at all. And now there's more and more people doing makeup for mature skins, people who are older as well, which is good because there are way too many tutorials for people who are young, and obviously not everyone's going to be young forever.
Of course, yeah.
So that is good, but I also think that with more of the edited styles, it's also an entertainment factor, especially for the more extreme ones, because people, no one's ever going to go out for a date or something dressed up as Mystique with scales coming off their face. They'd get dumped.
Well, you'd be surprised.
Very, very, very understanding boyfriend there, I think. That would be...
Or girlfriend.
Yeah, That's true. Could you imagine that? You're going out on a date and someone comes up dressed up as the Terminator. She's... Oh my god, what happened? Well, it's fine, it's just makeup. You wear makeup.
If someone was to say, like, if someone like got their own YouTube channel today, like, it's always like, it's your little space, isn't it? Your YouTube channel, it's like you're over, and they thought, right, you know, I've got an idea. I've got my own. I mix my own cosmetics. I've got like lots of thoughts, ideas going on here. What advice would you give them on how to get started, do you reckon?
There's a lot of things, really. It's not really one thing. It's quite a large area to cover, but...
In a nutshell? In
a nutshell. Don't try and copy other people. And don't try and be too unique to the point where you're just... I don't know, it's kind of difficult to explain. You need to develop your own style. So just, first of all, start making videos casually. But the most important thing, if you forget everything else, you have to interact with your followers. Someone leaves you a comment, answer them. It doesn't matter if you have to stay up till 3 in the morning, answer it. Those people are taking the time to watch you. You get nasty people, but you get nasty people in the real world, and those, if you want it to be successful, you have to pay attention to your viewers.
If, like, obviously, like, we're gonna be getting onto this shortly, but music's your talent, your favourite thing. What keeps you motivated, and what keeps you inspired to keep on making makeup videos? Do you reckon?
I can't really put it down to one thing, because it's honestly everything. Music inspires a lot of things. I don't know, when I listen to music I just get ideas. But I also watch a lot of films, old films. Anything interests me, really. Unless it's maths based, I'm interested. So anything, you know, I'll watch Turkish films, I'll watch Asian films which have subtitles. I can't understand what they're saying, but when you kind of try and get interested in loads of different cultures and arts, and you get ideas.
No, it's like watching the silent films, isn't it?
Exactly.
You can almost like make your... I think one of the most famous films, or one of my top 10 favourite films of all time, is called The Lodger, which is Ivor Novello, and it was an Alfred Hitchcock film. I think it was made in the 20s, and I saw that for the first time just a few years ago, and that just knocked me for 6. But just closing the book now on the makeup side, because we'll get onto the music. What, in your opinion, how many videos have you uploaded so far to date? About
150. I've uploaded more than that, but I've taken down a lot of old videos which I can't stand to see because they're so bad. What
is your personal favourite that you've done?
To date, probably the Terminator one.
Really?
Probably that, because that, I don't know, I just loved that one because the pictures came out so well, and that's the bit where there was a bit of a turning point in my videos, because before that it was more do the makeup, pose at the end, voila, I'm done. But when I did that one, I realised how you could kind of put art more into the videos and be more creative with editing. You know, I got a mirror. I had a mirror in my room, and I just thought, okay, I want to get a picture of me looking ahead, but I also want to get a side view. So I took the mirror and I kind of held it, and then I realised that you got this really awesome profile thing. And then I pulled it into Photoshop and I thought, what? I just started messing around with it, and then I got it so one eye looked like it was kind of glowing, and it just looked so good, and I thought, oh, I want to do more of this. And because of that video is kind of a nostalgic favourite almost.
What about the Star Wars one? Were you happy with that?
No.
That was quite cool.
I didn't like it because it was very quickly done. I mean, the viewer probably can't tell, but I like to have about 3 or 4 days to really work on a video. I don't work on it solidly, but it gives me time to think about what I want to do with the music, and I spend a lot of time looking for the music. I'll search YouTube and I'll find something which has the kind of feel of the look, and I'll find a font which is similar. If I can't find the font, I'll try and draw something in Photoshop. If there's a background, if I don't have a picture which works, normally I'll paint it, so I'll paint a microphone or I don't know, space or a galaxy, anything like that.
Right, music, ding-a-ling, your passion.
Yep.
What does music do for you, Claire?
Soul food. It's what keeps me going, really. I don't know, I've always loved music because my mum was a musician, and so I've always had music in my life, so it's the kind of thing that I just have to function, really, because it makes me so happy.
Mm-hmm. Keeps me alive.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It really does.
How long have you been into your own compositions?
Since I was about 14. I think.
Really?
14, I think it was around then.
Was that with the melody as well?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So you're not just lyric writing. You're into sort of like more.
Yeah.
Like the whole shebang.
Yeah, I really want to learn how to play an instrument because it's one thing having the song in your head, but if you can't show people what it sounds like in your head, it's not much use.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to learn just an instrument so that way when I have an idea I can just mess around and just see it evolve really.
Yeah. At the moment, when it comes to sort of female singers, over in the States we've got like Beyonce, Rihanna, Gaga, massive, hugely successful. And over in England, at this moment in time, we've got Adele, Jessie J, Cheryl from Girls Aloud, amongst others. Are you inspired by these? Are you inspired by these current artists, or do you kind of go back more like to the 20th century icons like Madonna or Whitney or Debbie Harry, Blondie sort of thing? Who are you?
I listen to them. I like Jessie J. I like her lyrics because they're clever.
Mm-hmm.
They're clever lyrics, and clever lyrics I don't like songs with too much repetition. I find that it really bores me. I like to listen to a song and I like it to have a kind of, good language, clever language, not basic language, something that makes you really think and something that you can listen to and relax. Mm-hmm. But then if you want to have something which is a little bit more intellectual, you can actually read the lyrics and think, oh, that's interesting, or that's an interesting point. So I do like some more, I don't know, I guess you could say famous singers, but...
Who was your idol as a kid?
As a kid.
What female artists did you quite like to listen to?
I think it was Hayley Westenra. She was a classical singer from New Zealand, and she had a voice which is very similar to mine, kind of very classical, and very, very high. She could sing very high, and it wasn't the kind of music that I personally wanted to sing, but I liked it, and it just inspired me to look at other different kinds of music and music from different parts of the world. So not just England, New Zealand, Korea, Australia. Listen to old Turkish music, for example. Just broaden the range, really.
Do you remember the first song you ever downloaded?
I can't remember. It might have been a Tokyo Hotel song. It's a German band.
You love your European stuff, don't you?
I do, because I find that it's different, and it's kind of traditional, but at the same time it's modern. They kind of incorporate them very well, so that you still have that lovely kind of rock, the drums and the heavy guitar and all that kind of stuff, but then at the same time in the background you've got violins, you'll have harps, and all that coming together. I find that when you mix things up, they're a lot more interesting than when something's just by itself.
Well, my first sort of purchase was back in the days of vinyl, so there you go. Do you know what I mean? It was a band called The Undertones, and the song was called Wednesday Week, and that was the first single I ever bought, and the first album I ever bought was the first album by Madonna, because I had a friend who had that album, and I loved the song Physical Attraction. It's simple song, but just brilliantly done.
Yeah.
And Holiday, that song always puts me in a good mood. You know what I mean? Like going back to what we were saying about what music does for us, it sort of changes our mentality, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Okay. Right. If this dream did come true of becoming a singer, becoming an artist, or whatever, what do you think you could?